The joys of hot rodding. Trying to get this water pump off here. So I want to see what this time chain's going to look like. See how much slop is in it. I actually put these bolts in here, so they're not that old. Too much traffic today. That's for sure. Why everybody's gonna be in such a hurry? Alright. Just a bad boy off here. And I already broke these loose, by the way. Just trying to get them out. I need some tools bad. I need a ratchet wrench, and I need a pile of sockets, and it just need a pile of stuff. Spin that out. Need a pile of wrenches too. If my tools are just broken and junk and lost and everything else. Y'all see the water pump there? Okay. Alright, y'all ready for it? Let's get her off there. Ooh, alright, she came on off. Ooh. The antifreeze. Maybe it's not as scaly as I thought it was. I mean, I did flush the block. It might be alright. I was just kind of concerned about it because we had a lot of trash up in them coolant jackets. I really like to flush it again. See, it sucks when you ain't got running water. I take me a garden hose and flush this block out. But, ew. Oh man. Well, that ain't good. Well. Well. I can get one of them. It just threads into the intake. It's not a big deal. Always something. That's alright. I'm kind of glad it broke because it was rather happen taking things apart than me going down the road and that thing bust. So, yeah, it's just what happens to brittle stuff. So, ain't a big deal. Not a big deal. Just threads into the intake, so I'll get another one. It might be alright. Maybe the coolant jackets ain't too bad. I kind of thought there was a lot of trash in them. So. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this fuel pump off. And I did go ahead and remove the key rail right down here. Do not lose that. Do not lose it. All you gotta do is just very gently tap it out. It comes right out. And then once you do that, this will slide right off. Just like that. And there's another keyway down there. So be careful about it. I think somebody's machined this because it looks like it's got machine marks in it. Let's get in the light here. There we go. Yeah, you can kind of see that. You can tell if it's original or not. It's got the machine inside there. That's kind of neat. I don't know if somebody actually machined it or not, but the groove, and these do get a groove, but I might get lucky. Yeah, it's got a little groove. Wipe this off real quick. Yeah, it's definitely questionable. I don't know if I'm gonna reuse it or not. Yeah, I did wipe it off, but Getting light a little bit. Yeah. Sorry about that, folks. There we go. I'm getting light a little bit. There we go. I don't know. I mean, I can feel it. I don't think we're going to be able to use this. And yeah, you can sleeve it. You can press on the sleeve. But they're not too expensive. But I don't know. To be honest, it just depends on how many issues we're going to have with this. Because I don't know if they're all the same, you know, length and, you know, the same crank snout diameter and all that. And so, I don't know. We might end up having just to sleeve it rather than deal with nothing but headaches. I don't know yet. But don't really like sleeving them. But I almost might have to. They're getting there. Almost about ready to pull this time core off and see how much slot we got in it. And yes, I have not forgot. I am going to bump it over. It's not going to hurt nothing when I say bump it over, but I'm going to turn it over by hand and get it at TDC #1 before, you know, we mess with the time and chain set and all that. And honestly, I'm not really going to pull any of that off anyway. Not yet. Because I want to see, you know, how bad it is and all that. I mean, I'm replacing it regardless. But I'm not going to pull it off until I get the new one, if that makes sense. But I'll go ahead and have it set up so everything is lined up correctly. And I did go ahead and, that way it'll line that up easier. I did go ahead and straighten that out. I mean, it's not perfect, but, you know, it's a whole lot better than what it was. So, and I'm going to put the other valve covers on here. It's just, I don't want to put them on here yet, you know, because I'm not ready for it. I got them nice and painted up. And so there's a little sneak peek of that. And that's the one we're going to put on here. And we'll go ahead and get this thing off and see what we got. And we'll go from there. And I don't want to make too many videos on this, but you know, I did talk about before about, you know, make my mind up if I'm gonna overhaul this motor, or if I'm gonna do the one in the Durango there. But everything is looking pretty clean on this, so we might be able to get by with just throwing a gasket kit in it, because it don't look too terrible. So I'm still concerned about the exhaust seats. We'll find out. We'll find out. But, and I'm gonna go through all this too, and I am gonna throw an oil pump on it. So, and then it's doable. There's a video in here about it, and I forget what the fella's name was. He did it, and you don't have to raise the motor up or do any of that crazy stuff. You're actually able to get this oil pan right on out. And I think the only thing he had to do is unbolt that sway bar. That's not a big deal, but he was able to get the pan out, and he had to get it out and move the pan up just enough to unbolt the oil pump, and then he turned the oil pump, laid on its side, pulled the oil pan and the oil pump and everything out, and then that's how he's able to get underneath of it and clean it up. And then had to do the same thing. Kind of crazy how you got to do it like that, but laid the oil pump on its side, and then slid everything up underneath there, and then took the oil pump, turned it up like it's supposed to be, and bolted it up, and that was it. So it's doable, definitely doable. But my only question is how you going to torque the oil pump out, bolt down correctly. But all right, enough blab. Let's get this done. All right, so I got the fuel pump off. They are 2 9/16 bolts, by the way, and then the time chain cover are all 1/2 inch. Just to point that out there. The one back here on this side of the fuel pump is always a pain, but you know, you got to work with it a little bit. You can't really go in there and get it out with this, because it'll end up hitting against this fuel pump bowl down here, the edge down here, and it's just makes it a pain. So the back one you almost got to unbolt by hand, but we're almost down. Almost. And crazy, I had a assembly lube on there and it's still on there. And it's been run, so it's pretty crazy. And yep, don't forget that's the same fuel pump gasket as a small block Chevrolet. So makes it nice. Alright, let's get her done. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing unbolted here. And start getting this thing wrapped up. This one broke loose. Not in the way. That one loose. That one loose. Yeah, that bugs me. Well, I'm gonna have fun finding one of them. I'm gonna find one of these. Okay. And bottom ones are 9/16, so I'm 1 or 2 with y'all. I bet this thing's got so much slop, it ain't funny. And yes, I took the fuel pump off so it doesn't put pressure on it, and you know, I'm trying to do it the right way here. Oh man, that's gonna be a pain. The lower corner. Come back to it. Get the oil pan. That's weird. I'm going to have to get the oil pan bolt loose so we can get to the bottom one, but I can get to it on this one. That's weird. Whatever. Got a little Ford. I need to be a cold Dr. Pepper right now, I know that. Yeah, I think it's been off. That gasket doesn't look correct. It's aftermarket. Now, I've never had this thing broke down this far. Y'all still see? Yeah. Not a good angle, but this ain't a how-to or nothing. This is just, you know, we're shade treating it. And we're just, you know, trying to straighten out this thing enough to make it reliable. That's why I'm just checking and seeing what's what. And we'll go from there. So, alright, we got all these broke loose. Just need that one broke. Get that one in the left-hand corner. Get it broke loose, and I think we'll be good. So, break this one on the oil pan. You got one on the oil pan. I know you can't see. And I got 2. And 3. And they are 1/2 inch, by the way. And then we got 4. So it's 4 bolts on the oil pan. They're 1/2 inch. I'm gonna go ahead and take these things on out while I'm down here. Be done with it. We're almost done. Hang on. This is real time, by the way. Alright. There's one. Yeah, I gotta replace this oil pan too. That's why I'm doing this too. So it's need some work on my hands. Alright. There's 3, and here's 4. I think I left out 2, but we got it. We got all 4 out. So here they are. They're all 1/2 inch. Get them out. And let's not be stupid about this here. Let's, you know, be smart about it. Let's thread our water pump bolts back in. Why? So that they don't get lost. Alright, we need a couple threads, nothing crazy. You gotta be smart. Alright. Now you put the fuel pump bolts back in too. Yeah, you can kind of see them. Alright, now we gotta get our 9/16 and get these 4 out. So the first 4 on the bottom of the timing cover here is 9/16. Then we have one, two, three, four that are 1/2 inch, and then these two down here are 9/16. So that's crazy. I love forward. So I don't know what we're going to do about the arm-out bouncer. I hope the pulley knot is going to work, because you can't. You know, I wish I could just turn that ring down, but you kind of can't do that. So I can see a nightmare getting the pulleys to line up and getting the timing marks to line up and all that good stuff. So I'll be pulling my hair out about that. But we'll find out. We're going to make this work, and I'm going to get the clearance that I need so we can run this alternator and not have to worry about it. I'm glad that Velcro's fixed. Yes, I literally just pulled the Velcro off and took a body hammer and tapped it, you know, give it a couple love taps there and straightened her out. So yeah, that's disappointing about that. I caught that on camera. Broke something right on camera. Let's see what our surprise is under here. Let's see. Let's move y'all under here. See under, but I mean, I don't know what I mean. Okay. Apologize for the camera work. I know it's crappy. All right, you ready? You ready? Let's be careful here. Huh? That ain't bad. That's kind of crazy. Look at that. Yeah, got a little wear mark. Don't feel bad though. That seal looks like it's, yeah, it's pretty old. Yep. Yeah, it's definitely old seal. It might be original. I'm kind of shocked. Oh man, we got antifreeze going in our oil pan. That's alright. And now we're going to have to pull the oil pan off. This little button. The fuel pump centric doesn't feel bad. I made a video about this too for a Dodge LA. They have a short snout on them. But this is a Edsel R-Chiff. I mean, it's not a TDC yet, but I'm kind of surprised that it's not worse than what it is. Our wear doesn't look too bad on here. So let me get a rag and I'll pick y'all up there so y'all can see what's going on a little better. Yeah, we're going to pull the oil pan off. Probably not in this video, but I don't get too crazy. I just wanted to break it down and see what's what. Make sure it ain't nothing real bad. A little spring. I'm sure these lose tension over time. But it doesn't look bad. The crank snout looks really good. I mean, it's got the typical wear, but it's not horrible. But trying to be careful there. Alright, let's let y'all see what we got here. So it doesn't look too terrible. So, I mean, it's got some wear, but I guess that's why they make those fuel pump centrics moly coated, like I bought for the Dodge Magnum 360 it's going in the Plymouth build. I guess it's supposed to help, supposedly, with keeping the wear down. And it's not terrible, but it's not, I don't know. I think we'll be alright. This thing's actually surprising. This thing is pretty clean. I'm kind of surprised. It's got a little slop in it, but I mean, it'll have more on this side if it was at TDC. And these do just pull off, by the way, see? Well, I don't want to do that, but you shouldn't have to have any special puller. All I gotta do is unbolt that up there. It should be fine. Oh, okay, so this comes off. Okay, like that. Trying to be careful here. Okay, this just pushes in there. That's weird. I've never seen one like that. There we go. I was wondering. Okay, we're good. Is that plastic? Okay. Then we can get to that. But I'm not ready for that, so. Right. There we go. I think we're going to be okay. I don't think it's terrible. I really don't. So I guess it prevents it, you know, just keeps the cam from walking. I don't think it, yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, I would reuse it. It's not bad. It's not really grooved. I think we'll be okay on a fuel pump centric. I might have to replace that spring though. I'm sure it's wore out. I don't see how that little tiny spring helps keep that cam from cracks the cam shaft in play. I just don't see how that little spring would do that, but maybe it does. Hey, you know it's a big block when you got 3/8/16 bolts down there at the bottom. And I think they all are. I think they're all the same thread. I think they are. No. Nope. Yeah, it don't look terrible. So this is the reason why I like going to the factory roller cam set up like on a small block Chevrolet. You ain't got to worry about this issue. I mean, this doesn't have a roller cam, of course, but I just don't like that thought of that junk camshaft button that you can buy rubbing against the timing cover. I mean, this is plastic too. Looks like it. And look, still rubbed it. I mean, it's not horrible, but I just don't like that thought of it rubbing a hole in my timing cover. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't know. So, and I did get the full gasket kit for this thing. I do have it. And man, it sucks about that. If anybody knows a part number for them things, let me know. I need the correct one so it goes on the back of the water pump and so I can keep my temperature sending unit. Let me know. But yeah, that's what happens. I'll have to make sure that nothing, I don't think anything made it in there. I think all of it's in the water pump. It broke. That sucks. Yes, it might have been the way I pulled it off, but regardless, yeah, that's what happens. We're dealing with, 70-year-old parts. So that's what you got to deal with. So let me know about this number under here. If what block this was made. Like what decade, date code that for me. Could somebody please date code that for me? Looks like it's B9. Well, I read the rest out. I know it's B9. And B, I'm pretty sure, is the decade, so that would be the 50s. And the 60s is C. And then the 70s is D. And then the 80s is E. So I'm pretty sure this is a numbers matching car here. I mean, it's not 100% correct, but the cylinder head's down. I'm going to say the valve covers too. I don't think they're the original ones that came on this motor. They might be. I'll never really know the real answer to that. But they are the correct ones. And they would be correct for restoration. But obviously the air cleaner and shiver and all that isn't. But that's not a big deal. But rather than drag this out, it scared me there. I was looking at that main cap. Yeah, we're good. I just happened to see that in the corner of my eye. That's just the way it's made. I get a little paranoid there. That's just the way it was made. It scared me there. Yep, we're good. I thought I seen a big old crack. Nope. We're okay. Hey, that oil pump's got USA made on it. That's awesome. I don't know. Really don't want to put something that's made overseas on here, so. Alright, I gotta end the video. We're dragging this out. So I figured I'd make this video here. I know it's not the best, but yeah, somebody date code that for me. And then send me a link to get the correct piece right here. Just threads into the intake here so I can run the temperature coolant sensor there and run the back of the water pump. I mean, I'll find one, but some of them are run on the intake for the temperature sensing, so I don't know. I gotta make sure it's the correct T. So somebody find me a T and decode this motor for me if you don't mind. I appreciate it. That would help me. Alright, see y'all later. Bye.